Okay, so today it's short and sweet. How did I go from suffering to peace in less than 30 days? It was almost overnight, and I tell you how I did it. It was learning that my suffering came from the thoughts that were in my head. Yeah? So things were happening in my life that weren't so good. Things were happening. It happens to us all, doesn't it? Yeah. And then my brain, my thoughts were catastrophizing everything, building them up to mammoth proportions. And I was thinking and thinking about all these things that were going on in my life that were terrible, and how I was telling myself that I just couldn't cope with it, right? I couldn't cope. And it was like a flick of a switch. I realised that actually the narrative, the commentary that was going on in my brain was the problem. Okay, I have problems, yeah? Very real problems, actually. But by worrying and obsessing and going crazy and telling myself that I couldn't cope wasn't going to solve the problems. It doesn't solve the problems. It just made me even less able to solve the problems because I felt too overwhelmed. Another thing, so this isn't like the main problem I had in my life. One of the problems was I have a family member who, I don't know, for the past 20 years, pretty much consistently every day rings me and is so down on life and how everything is terrible and everything is awful. And this family member also is quite good with emotional blackmail and manipulation. And because I was in a vulnerable state, every day I would take these phone calls and everything that was said would affect me. Yeah? So he would be talking about this, that, the other, and I would take on board everything that he was saying. But now I can have a phone call, I have a phone call every day with that person, and whereas before I was sort of like a sponge taking in all these things that he was saying, it's now he says the same things and it's like the water just runs off me. I don't take it in. And I know the problem was before was my frustration at the situation. Here was someone that I care for, who I have for years endlessly tried to talk to and tried to help, but know that actually they're not going to change because they just can't. They can't self-reflect. Yeah, and that anger, and so it was the resistance to the situation, the oh, not again, and getting cross because yeah, because I care. Yeah, and I don't want someone who I love to be that in that state all the time. I want them to be okay, but they're not okay. Clearly, he's not okay. But actually now, I thought, well, okay, I know that this person isn't going to change because they don't have it in them to change, because they don't really want to change. Yeah, some people who are unhappy in their lives, when they've been unhappy for so long, it almost becomes like their identity, and actually unhappiness is who they are. And they don't even want to change that. I'm not saying that's for everyone, but it's for some. Okay? So then my mindset changed. It was like, okay, so he's never going to change. He doesn't even want to change. Yep, the sadness I am experiencing around the situation of this person constantly being depressed and talking negatively is not going to change. It's just not. And I've detached from the situation. And so now I can have a phone call and it doesn't affect me anymore. Years, it's affected me for years. Years it's affected me. Really got me down. But now I'm just like, da 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 da, da 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 da. Okay. Because I can't change it. And yeah, I can feel sad. Okay, I feel sad that that's how it is. But I'm not going to sort of repeat in my head over and over again, oh my gosh, and why can't he do what? Because he can't. Yeah, so I leave it there. Right? Yeah, that's a big thing for me, because that's had a big effect on my life. You know, when people we love are in pain, that can be really, really, really hard to deal with, because it's one thing going through pain yourself, but it can be harder to watch someone who you love going through pain, can't it? So that was one thing. Without going into too much detail of my private life, but I've sort of, just to give you examples, I've been through grief and worries about other family members who've had illnesses, and more than, one family member, and being 51 and having been a carer and given up my job, and now unemployed, and financial concerns. So everything was going and I was like, I can't cope with this. Yeah, but actually what I'm doing now is I am living in the present moment. Okay, and it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. Yes, I have things going on in my life, things that are difficult to deal with, but I have always been very grateful for my life. Yeah, and actually I'm realizing that just having a running commentary of thoughts all the time about everything that's going wrong is not helpful to me. It's just not. Yeah, I will change what I can change, but what I can't change, what I can't control, I just have to let go of trying to, because I can't. Yeah, so when you can learn to accept what is happening around you, the things that are not pleasant, I have to accept what is happening. I might not like it, but I'm not resisting it. I'm just accepting that this is part of life and things like this happen in life. Okay? And I let go of trying to control it, because I can't control it. These are things that are not within my control. I can't control them. Yeah, so I just let go, and I'm living in this moment, because this is the only moment that there is. The past is the past, and the future hasn't happened, So what have I got? I've just got now. Now. Yeah, and now, and now. And I'm just thinking about right now. I'm not thinking about what happened yesterday or the day before or 5 years ago. I'm not worrying about what might happen, what could happen, what is going to happen and might be a disaster in the future. I am just concentrating on what is happening right at this very present moment now. Yeah? And now is great. Yeah? Now is great. Okay? So, if you are in a situation where you have been feeling overwhelmed and feeling like you can't cope, and I'm really sorry if you have, because it's just rubbish, and I know that. Just don't think of the past. The past is the past. Let it be. It's gone. It happened. It's gone. Yeah. The future, we don't know the future yet. The future will unfold in front of us and we will cope with whatever happens. We will cope because we've coped so far. We're going to cope going forward. We will. Yeah, we will cope. Yeah. Don't let your thoughts run around in your head. Yeah. Enjoy the walk with your dog. Enjoy doing window shopping with your daughter. Enjoy those things because that's what's happening right now. Yeah, that's what you're doing now. Enjoy those things and don't let what has happened and what hasn't happened yet overshadow enjoying life now. Because life is so very precious. And when we can learn to enjoy the present moment, yeah, that is when we understand what abundance is. It's not waiting for something good to happen or waiting for the bad things to be over and done with. Yeah, stop waiting and appreciate the now. And if the now isn't so great, you will manage it, you will cope, and joy will come into your life again. Yeah? Okay. All right. Well, sending you love and light, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.